Hey there, folks. Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. For those of you that don't know me by now, I specialize in helping folks just like yourself navigate higher ed retirement plans, basically just get the most out of your higher ed retirement plan. So speaking of, it's Friday, late afternoon, closing time. I'm literally the only one in my building here. So I wanted to distribute this video while it's fresh in my head. So let me give you an idea of what's going on. Now, anybody watching this video, you need to have TIAA Traditional, or if you're thinking about getting in TIAA Traditional, you need to be with TIAA in some form or fashion within the higher ed retirement plan. So this came to my doorstep, so to speak, a couple days ago, and let me share it with you. So let me frame this and give you an idea of the scenario and give you some ideas to think about. This by no means is investment advice. When you're coming with TIAA Traditional, there's different strategies therein. So it's very important you talk to somebody that knows what they're talking about, in my opinion, other than the TIAA folks themselves. They're great people. I've known some of them. They're fine, fantastic people, but who's their boss, right? Who pays the light bill? So we can put two and two together there. So back to who is now my client. So she came to me, a referral. She's been in higher education for longer than I've been doing this, 30, 40 years. She's single, she's widowed, and that's important for this scenario because I see this often. She doesn't have anybody to bounce ideas off of. She doesn't have anybody to talk to regarding this stuff other than TIAA reps. And so when I got in with her for a meeting, I knew she had some TIAA Traditional, but she didn't disclose how much or percentage-wise. So I kind of, I've done this so long, I put together a quick game plan of what I would probably do for her. And she liked the idea, gave me her statements. It took me less than a second to unfortunately drop a bombshell on her. And what I told her is that you've done a great job of accumulating monies over the last 30 plus years. Unfortunately, what you have here is around $800,000 in TIAA Traditional, split up between GRA and RC. Most of it's in the RC contract, okay? Then I proceeded to tell her that not the only way. So within 100, within 120 days, you can take that money out, pay her 2% penalty, and roll that over to an IRA, which you probably didn't want to do. She can also enact a lifetime income annuity option. We talked about that. That's a possibility. But she was interested in these, just rolling it over to an IRA, and for various reasons. Okay, we're not going to get into all the variables right now. She can't do it because in the GRA, it's a 10-year TPA, transfer payout annuity. So she has to take withdrawals from that once a year over the course of 9 years, actually, but it's called 10-year TPA. Same thing in the RC, but it's 7 years. It's not necessarily a huge deal because we can still accomplish what she's trying to accomplish. It's not as easy, but she was visually emotional, okay, because she's been with TIAA for 30 plus years, and she was angry because she never knew about this, according to her. Maybe along the line she was told. I don't know the answer to that, but as it stands right now, she is unaware of what I just told her. 30 plus years with TIAA, great company, but you folks out there that are with TIAA in the higher education industry, you need to educate yourself. So a lot of clients that I deal with TIAA Traditional, one strategy we think about is that how long have you had those accumulations in TIAA Traditional? Because those rates differ. The old interest rates are different from now. Now is really good, right? And here we are, January 2023. So there's different variables that go into play. This is not investment advice, like I mentioned, but here's a strategy that you need to think about when it comes to your situation with TIAA Traditional. And this is in regards to GRA, RC, these old RA contracts. There's so many different these acronyms, right? GSRA, GRA, RA, RCs, RAs. But nonetheless, you can enact these TPAs. Okay, they open up an IH contract and then pull the trigger, basically start that transfer payout annuity while you're still in service. And then take those annual distributions while still in service, distribute those monies amongst the TIAA investments within your contract while still employed. Because what you don't want, especially if you have a huge amount of TIAA Traditional, okay, again, different variables and there's not one size fits all, is to run into this lady's situation where you retire, you've amassed hundreds of thousands in TIAA Traditional, and you find out you can't necessarily roll it over to an IRA unless you're within 120 days of separation, you take a 2% penalty. That's not very attractive most of the times. So I urge you, I implore you, make sure you educate yourself. So what happens, like this lady, is not apathy, is that the right word? Just what is it? The path to least resistance is doing nothing, right? And that's what a lot of folks in higher education do when it comes to retirement plans. They do nothing and figure it'll all be okay until it's not too late, but until you're facing the music of retirement. And there's different strategies you can act years prior to retirement, like turn on that spigot, enacting the TPA 5, 6, 7 years prior to retirement, divvy up those monies, and maybe you have another TIAA contract you can leave alone. Maybe you want to take that as a lifetime income and annuity, or enact that TPA 7 or 10 year, depending upon the contract. A lot of different strategies when it comes to TIAA Traditional. You need to educate yourself, or I think it's worth its weight in gold, hire somebody to help you out. All right. TIAA folks, reps, like I said, great people, but let's remember who pays their light bill, right? They have a boss, and their job is to keep that money there at TIAA CREF. All right, big breath here, deep breath. So that's all I got for you folks today. Please educate yourself when it comes to that TIAA Traditional. Greg Shepard here. And by the way, contact me, email me. I get emails all the time from folks that are clients. I would surely help you out. I'll try to, is there a podcast on this? I don't know. If I have a podcast on this particular topic, I'll throw it down in the show notes as well. Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. I'm out of here. I'm going to go grab a cocktail. Y'all take care. All right. Bye-bye.